what's up? Another video for the guys I coach. This one's not directed at anybody specific, just a general guideline. It's a spectrum on which I classify you guys to kind of determine what I'm going to advise you do. And so you can kind of place yourself on this spectrum and hopefully use it and the advice that comes with either side to help make yourself a better lifter. So the spectrum is form versus effort on the execution of various lifts. So either comp lifts or variations both kind of fall into the same categories. So on one end of the spectrum, you're going to have people who are going to do whatever it takes to complete the rep, and they're always going to give like maximum effort. The problem with these people is you're going to have more breakdown, and you're going to peak out early when you manage to squeeze out a really heavy double, but that form doesn't hold up under a single, and you're bleeding power. And then on the other end of the spectrum are the people who are so focused on perfect execution and their cues, they almost forget to try hard. You'll hear, if you fall into that category, I'll just give really simple cues like press harder, shove the bar, or try to just go faster. And so more than likely you aren't just at one extreme end on everything. It's kind of a continuum. And if you're in the middle, you're probably fine. But if you find that you fall further to one end of the spectrum or the other, then I have an advice for either end, right? So if you fall into the category of people who give their absolute maximum effort at the cost of form, you really need to take a step back with the weights. And you got to come to terms with not everything is going to be a PR. It's going to be trying to improve yourself and viewing yourself as a technician, whether the lift is a competition lift or on the other side of the coin is on an accessory. You have to realize that the accessory completed incorrectly doesn't serve its purpose, so you may as well not be doing them. It's not, you're going to get less hypertrophy out of an incorrectly executed lat pull down. So really by trying harder, you're doing worse. And so really just thinking about yourself as a technician, and each rep as an opportunity to practice usually will take you to like the next level as a lifter. Whereas if you're on the other side of the spectrum and you find that your effort is compromised pursuing form, I'm not saying to just get the weight up by any means necessary, but you genuinely need to just reevaluate your mentality going into each set and realize at the end of the day the most important thing is increasing your numbers. Again, don't just hurt yourself and do something stupid, but you have to remember that mentality doesn't just apply to your top set, it applies to your back downs. Your back down should be improving each week. It applies to your accessories. You should be able to do a little bit more over time. It might not be a little bit more every week. It might be a little bit more every training block. Just 5 pounds to your lat pull down every training block across a couple of training blocks will yield some growth in your lats. And so you kind of have to bring that effort mentality that you might bring to your top set to everything. I've found when I'm doing my whatever 2x10 or 3x10 background down, I and a lot of you tend to sandbag that because it's a secondary motion, not a primary motion. You need to try to improve that every single week and really push as hard as you can to get to a new best weight before we dial it back again. I think that's everything. I don't really know what the point of this one was.